Hi everybody. I just got back from church. I haven't been since, COVID hit. I just watch it online or listen on the sermon audio app, which you should really get. Get it on your computer, get it on your phone, sermon audio. I definitely would tell you to look up Central Congregational Church. The pastor is Bruce D.M. Smith. And, yeah, I'm telling you, church never disappoints. It's the most powerful, the best experience ever, the most joyful, the most raw, the most real. Today happens, it's my favorite Sunday of the year. I do my best to never ever miss it. It's Teen Challenge New England, and that's a faith-based ministry that helps addiction, and it's a 12 to 15 month program for all forms of addiction. Anyway, in our area, they have a men's program. They come out to our church and they give testimony. So, well, some of them will give testimony, some of them don't. But they come out to tell their story, and it's the message of hope. Putting your trust and your life in the hands of the Lord and letting go of yourself. I gotta tell you, it's so moving and so powerful. I mean, I already knew what I was gonna witness up there, because, like I said, I try my best to never ever miss it. And, I already knew what I was going to see and how I was going to feel. And I cried on my way there. It's that powerful. It's the message of hope, and the silver lining. There is light at the end of the tunnel. All you have to do is just let go of yourself. It's a hard thing to do, because we live in fear. And, we're not supposed to live in fear. The Bible teaches us that. God teaches us that, because we walk in our flesh as human beings, instead of the spirit with Christ. So, it was really touching today, because, in today, the first song that they sang was Glorious Day. And, it's very upbeat. You should definitely check that song out. Glorious Day, I ran out of that grave. I was buried beneath my shame. Who could carry that kind of weight? It was my tomb till I met you. 'Cause when you called my name and I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness into your glorious day, you called my name. I ran out of that grave. Right? So, for anybody who feels like they're not worthy wherever they are in life right now, if you feel like you're not worthy of a relationship with God, or that you're not going to go to heaven because you just don't deserve it, I want to tell you right now that didn't come from nowhere. Okay, you didn't just come up with that feeling on your own, okay? Because God put that in there. That's remorse for your sin. That's the first step in repentance, right? You're remorseful for your sin, right? And if you ever feel every single time that you have those thoughts that you're not worthy and you're not good enough, that is every single time that God is trying to meet you where you are. He's trying to pull you out of that grave, into his glorious day. There's nothing like it, I'm crying tears of joy because I'm coming to my own realization that he really does want me. I really am a child of his. He keeps touching me, and I want everybody to feel that feeling. I want everybody to know what that's like, I always invite people to church when Teen Challenge comes. Not everybody goes, and that's understandable because people don't really get it, and they're not an addict, or Maybe they are. They're just too afraid to confront that. But I don't invite people because I think somebody's an addict or I think they have a problem. I invite people because I want them to know, right? These people are up there sharing their testimony. They are showing us the evidence of everything that they have done wrong and how God still met them. He still met them. And I know this is going to sound really off the wall, if you will. But as each guy gave his testimony, you know, like I blinked my eyes. I rubbed my eye like, am I seeing things? Because as each guy gave his testimony today, I could see like God's light covering them. You know, at first I thought maybe it was the sun and it was just, you know, the way it was hitting the wall and they're shadowing or something. Like I tried really hard to be the skeptic and say, this is, I'm seeing things. And I'm seeing things, but I'm not seeing something I shouldn't be seeing, I don't think. You know, I saw God's light around them. God is in them. You know, it's a treasure having these guys come. Especially, you know, when it's January, it's the beginning of a new year. And we've all been, you know, just hopeless and faithless and losing sight, you know, of the bigger picture and, you know, the whole purpose. Because, you know, we don't really know our purpose, right? We're waiting for somebody to tell us, but all we have to do is actually talk to God, and He starts to put that in us and helps us to see what it is. I don't know. I think it was really amazing. You know, my last video, we talked about evidence, and, you know, if you, my mother and you know, her situation, and, oh, maybe it wasn't the last video, it was probably the video before, you know, But if you need evidence of God's existence, you know, it is. It's the trees, it's the wind, it's the animals, it's us human beings, it's everything around us. And so Teen Challenge, that was, you know, their opening song was Evidence by Josh Baldwin. Absolutely check that out because, you know, that's a very touching song and it's so full of truth, you know. I've seen the evidence all over my life, you know, the promise and fulfillment, the promise of your fulfillment. Why should I fear? The evidence is here, for real. You know, it's hitting me really deep that there are so many people that are still lost, and I don't want you to be lost. I want you to come to this and come to God, come to Jesus, and see what it's like to really be loved and cared for, and you know, start growing into Him, because He will feed you. You know, my fixing my eyes on Jesus. You know, which day was it? January 15th, a tree or a twig. Right. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by a stream of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. God plants you and me in our faith to grow us into trees of righteousness. He uses adversity to make us strong, and He leads us to endure, not somehow, but victoriously, as we choose to trust Him. King David knew that the secret of victory over adversity was a conscious choice to trust God. He cried out in prayer, "How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and every day have sorrow in my heart? But I trust in your unfailing love." David exercised his will to trust God when he didn't feel like it. He had learned to walk by faith, not by feelings. What about you? Will you grow into a tree of righteousness or remain a twig? Will you have victory or adversity, or remain defeated? It's your choice. Choose to be strong. Choose to trust in him. Nothing could be like, you know, any more plain as day clear. And I'll tell you what, a tree or a twig, I mean, this Psalm 1, okay, because my pastor preached on it today. And amazing to me, right? I know I'm on the right path here because, you know, it wouldn't be validated to me, you know? I don't know. I mean, this could just be for my own good. I might not even touch anybody else, but it might just be for my own good. And that's okay too, you know? But it's pretty amazing to me that you know, I read this, you know, just the other day and really thought about it. Yeah. You know, are we going to are we gonna live like trees or you know what? You know, or as my pastor said today, you know, are we going to be like that or are we going to be the chaff, right? The chaff. The chaff. Where does that go with? I think that was, yeah, that was this morning. I tell you the truth, unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. So, you know, it has to do with the wheat. And my pastor said, you know, they would harvest the wheat and they would bring it up to a hill and they would take a pitchfork and they would, you know, toss it up in the air and the chaff, which is all the junk, the waste, the nothing, it goes off into the breeze. It's gone. It's blown away, right? And do you want to be the chaff or do you want to be a tree planted in the roots of the Father? Because, you know, I'd much rather the tree than the chaff because, I don't know, chaff seems kind of scary. But anyway, until next time.